Hey there, my name is Andrew Michael, and I'm a broker associate with eXp Realty, and you are watching the Move to Florida's First Coast channel. Now, today, we're going to talk about a popular community just north of the historic district of St. Augustine called Las Calinas. We're going to drive the streets, we're going to tour the amenities, we're going to take a look at a few homes, and we're going to do all of this right now. Okay, welcome back. So, we have lots of experience helping families just like yours with making the transition to Northeast Florida, and we would love the opportunity to help you. So if you'd like to chat with us, feel free to give us a call, send a text message, or click on the Zoom link to schedule a Zoom in-person meeting. So on that note, let's get started here. Las Calinas, the homes, they started building them in 2008, and construction went all the way out to 2019. During that time, you had several different builders: Dries, Dostie, Taylor Morrison, Pulte, Beazer, and Mercedes Homes. The homes themselves, they're all single-family homes. There's no townhouses or condos in the community. And they all range in size from just under 1,500 heated square feet all the way up to over 5,000 square feet. So some things that I like about this community. Number one, I love the trees. That doesn't make any sense, or it may not sound right, but most of the neighborhoods in our market, when the builders came through, they clear-cut the entire neighborhood, stuck a bunch of houses on it. They planted some trees in front of or behind the houses, whatever. But it takes decades for those trees to look like mature like they did in the first place. In this neighborhood, what they did is they left a lot of the neighborhood the way it was, bulldozed what they needed to, brought in dirt, obviously to raise the home up out of what would have been a floodplain or a flood zone. And then after that, but they left the trees in. So the advantage to that is when you're driving around, you get to see a lot of trees, and a lot of the homes back up to a preserve. So if you're in the backyard of one of the homes that backs up to a preserve, you're actually looking out at mature trees, and it kind of looks like a forest, like you're out in the middle of nowhere, which we're not. I will talk about location in a second. So that's one of the things I like about it. Next thing is concrete block homes. It's very rare here to find those. Now in other parts of Florida, it's the norm. But what does that mean? Basically, when they built the home, there is a complete cinder block between the inside of the house and the outside of the house. So if you don't have a concrete block home, that what you probably have is what we call stick frame, or wood-built home. In which case you either have a 2x4 or a 2x6 between the inside and the outside of the home, meaning that width. So at the bottom, along the concrete, they put the 2x4, the 2x6. So let's say you have a 2x6. Then you would have roughly 6 inches of insulation between you and what's outside the home. 2x4, you'd have 4 inches. Now in Las Calinas, many of the homes, not all, but many of the homes were built with concrete block if it's a single-story home. If it's a two-story home, then it may have concrete on the first floor, built with concrete block, and then the second floor would be wood frame, which is the same process I just laid out. So that's one thing that's great about this community. It's pretty rare to find concrete block homes in this price range in this area. So that's number two. Number three, one of the things that is popular with Las Calinas is the fact that it's a no CDD community. So what is a community development district, or a CDD? We did a video on that. So go ahead and check our library and or see our videos and watch that video, and it'll explain that whole process. But there's no CDD here. There is a homeowners association, and they do collect dues. But considering that there's no CDD, there's only an HOA, and in my opinion, the fees are pretty reasonable. They have great amenities. I'm not going to tell you about those amenities because we're going to tour them here in a second. And then something else, though, to be concerned about is, or something to kind of keep an eye on with this community, is some of the homes back up to US 1, which is Federal Highway. That can be a noisy road, and on the other side of Federal Highway are railroad tracks. So if you have a home that's all the way on the west end of this community, you may end up hearing trains, traffic, stuff like that. So that's something to be mindful of. Next is flood zones. Most of the homes in this community were elevated up out of the flood zone when they built them, but some of them are in flood zones A or AE. And that means if you have a mortgage, you will be required to get flood insurance. That also means statistically your home is more likely to flood than most of the other ones. Now, the majority of homes in this community are not in either of those two flood zones, but it's something to keep an eye on if you're looking for homes here. Okay, next is the location. So we have Las Calinas, the amenity center. Now, this is Google Maps. And to get to the historic district from there, according to Google, is 11 and a half miles or 18 minutes. And that, just so you know, that's the parking garage. Historic district is great. It's got all kinds of great restaurants, shopping, things to do, museums, all kinds of stuff. So that's a fun place to go for entertainment for anyone in the area, but you're in about an 18-minute drive to get there. Now, let's say you want to go to the beach. Let's do Volano Beach here. Now, that is further down than you need to go. There's actually a beach right here, right in this area. Let's move this over. Cool. So you're 18 minutes to the Volano Beach. So again, going from now I'm basing, when I say from Las Calinas, I'm doing it from the amenity center, which is kind of a good point of reference to use. And then let's take a look. Michler's Beach would be the other one. Okay, so that's a 20-minute drive, slightly longer drive, just whichever one you'd prefer to do. So you've got a 20-minute drive to get to Michler's. Now, for shopping, the closest grocery store is going to be the Publix. Now, there's a bunch of Publix grocery stores around here, but the closest one's going to be the Commons in Palencia. That's only a 5-minute drive, so that's pretty close. Of course, there's Instacart. So should you decide you don't want to go to the grocery store, that's fine. You can go over to Publix. There is a Starbucks. It's probably about 4 minutes. It's right there. Now, it's the popular. It probably won't be a make or break for you, but popular destination around here is Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is 13 minutes from the neighborhood from Las Calinas over to Buc-ee's. You also have a Costco, which is also going to be 13 minutes because they're like, oh, wrong Costco. That's the one at St. John's Town Center. If you want to go to the one at St. Augustine, that one is, okay, it says 12 minutes, but they're right across the street from each other. So obviously you've got, you got Buc-ee's, you got Costco. We've talked about Publix, talked about the beaches. Let's talk about the hospital now. Hopefully this will never happen, but if it does, you want to know where a good hospital is. Back to south, there's plenty of like emergency rooms that are not full hospitals or minute clinics or stuff like that that's closer. But as far as a real hospital for handling real emergencies, Baptist South is probably going to be your closest one, and that's only a 17-minute drive. It's a straight shot up US 1, and then you go down Old St. Augustine Road until you get there. There's actually probably a couple different ways to get there. But yep, so you got about 17 minutes or 11 and a half miles to go there. Last but not least, if you're traveling, you're going to want to fly out of the Jacksonville International Airport. There you go. So that's about a 45-minute drive to the, let's say 50 minutes to get from Las Calinas to the Jacksonville International Airport. Now, if you're flying domestic or internationally, whatever, chances are you're going to fly out of Jacksonville. There's a chance you're going to fly out of Orlando. That's a larger airport, but a little further away. But Jacksonville is the closest large airport to this area. There is an airport in St. Augustine, but it's mostly commuter flights. I know Northrop Grumman does a lot of stuff there. It's not stuff like your average, person flying to go see a family member or something. Is most people aren't going to take the St. Augustine airport. You're going to end up flying out of Jacksonville International. And again, you're looking at about a 40 to 50-minute drive, so just under an hour. So there you go. All right, so we've discussed the location and kind of where it is in relation to different shopping and things to do in the community. Let's go take a drive actually through the community itself. Okay. All right, so I hope you're having fun driving around the neighborhood with me today. So we are on Los Caminos Street. Homes on this street were built by both Pulte and Taylor Morrison. You can kind of tell because if the pavers have a little different coloring to them, like a brownish and some other colors, then they were probably built by Pulte. If it's just a solid gray, then it was built by Taylor Morrison. Not that it matters, but that's just an easy way to tell. Now obviously the owner could have changed the pavers at some point. But this home that we're walking up on just sold. It was built in 2016 by Pulte. It is 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, just under 4,200 heated square feet, and it just sold for $854,000. It does have a swimming pool, and instead of a preserve, it backs up to the one of the lakes in the community. All right, let's go take a look at another one. Now we are walking up on a home on Battersea Drive. This home is currently listed for sale for $461,000. It is 1,651 heated square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's a common floor plan here in this neighborhood, and it was built in 2012 by Taylor Morrison. The home is single story, and it's a concrete block home. So on Battersea Drive, when you're driving down it, you will run into the neighborhood of Kensington, which is a completely different neighborhood. But as you're driving down, you'll notice, because all of a sudden you have a little bit more space between the houses, and the houses become much larger. But here you go. This is it right here. And again, this is on Battersea Drive, and it's available for sale right now for $461,000. Well, there you go. Okay, so here we are in our third and final home. The home we're walking up on now it's on Appaloosa Avenue, and it was built by Dosty in 2014. It's just under 3,600 heated square feet. It's got 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a swimming pool, and it is currently listed for $1,125,000. Now, what I want to show you about this home is, notice the kind of the C shape. You have the garage, the living area, and then the garage, how it kind of comes out there. That is kind of common for Dosty. Now, Dosty started this street at developing it, and then along the way they decided to pull out and to go sell in other projects like Nocatee, some up in Nassau County, and so they decided to sell their lots in Las Calinas to Dries. And so Dries finished out. They're both higher end builders, and so when you drive down the street, you'll definitely notice a little bit of a higher end feel. But the home I'm going to show you right here looks very similar to what the model looked like. There you go, and again, you've got the garage over here, garage over there, and then the living area in the middle. That's kind of a common theme here in this neighborhood. It's a common theme here on this particular street with the Dosty home. Now, some of their other homes that were not in that general layout, and the Dries homes were not either, but it's the common thing to see here. Well, there you go. Well, we're almost done, so thanks. All right, so that's the basic facts of the community. Let's go take a look at the amenities. So now let's kick off the tour of the amenities in the pool area. So over here you've got a large adult swimming pool connected to a kids pool. Now it is connected, there's no barrier between the two, so if your kids are here, you obviously got to keep an eye on them. Over here we have bathrooms. They have Wi-Fi as well, and then you've got an enclosed area that is perfect for birthday parties, kids' birthday parties or adults. I've seen retirement parties in here, all kinds of stuff. They also have lots of chairs, and then they have a smaller playground right here. So that's it for the amenities at the pool center. Now let's go take a look at some of the other ones. All right, so now that was the pool and the pool area. We're in the same amenity complex. But right over here we have a full tennis court. We have another covered area with 3 picnic tables. And then we have a beach volleyball court right over here. And we come over this way. They're in the middle of doing maintenance on it, but there is a full basketball court over here. And then if we look this way, I'll walk you over there. By the way, I appreciate you taking the journey with me today, kind of walking around together. And this over here is obviously a soccer field. Now around the soccer field is a big concrete walkway, which, by the way, there's walkways going all through the community, so that's great if you're, walk the dog, jog, whatever. They've got all that stuff. They have pet waste stations in different places. And the only thing I haven't shown you yet with the complex is the amenity complex would be the larger playground and covered area, and there's also a little pier there. Let's go over and take a look. Okay, well, that is a wrap. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today, and I hope you benefit from it, learned lots about Las Calinas. If you found this video helpful, do us a favor, click the like button. That helps us get found by other people. Also, if you enjoyed this information, you can subscribe to the channel. We try to drop 2 videos similar to this one every week on all different, sometimes it's about neighborhoods, other times it's other real estate related topics. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And then lastly, if you are moving to our area, anytime between, let's say right now and let's say the next 90 days, we would love to help you, or love the opportunity to help you. So go ahead and give us a phone call, shoot us a text message, or you can click on the link and we can set up a Zoom meeting so we can all meet virtually. Thanks a lot, have a great day, and until next time.